Hope you're doing great, everybody. Focus on this video on just a recap of what happened on this weekend. First is it's typically going to be a kind of a family time, so I don't get as active on social, and I'm actually working at reducing my time on social media on the weekends, so that way I can focus and be fully engaged with the fam. But Saturday was fantastic. Went and played basketball for about 90 minutes with a bunch of guys, and then went to the gym, did some legs, did some lunges, did some leg seated squats, and then did some chest and biceps. So just had a great workout in the Saturday morning, and really enjoy. I enjoy hitting the gym. I don't know, not everybody does. So I think exercise-wise, you should just do what you enjoy doing, and not worry about what other people are doing. And then let's see. Had a conversation with a couple people that I just wanted to give a little bit of context to. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll notice that I'm doing some shout outs to some businesses, just talking about what I like about them and what they're doing. And on Friday, I did one for Marcus Theater. It's a local regional theater out here. They have over 6,500 employees. They do about 470 million in revenue. And so I just give a shout out to the CEO who does like this beginning video. And I just was saying, hey, I really like that. Appreciate the thoughts on encouraging people to get involved with United Way. And also, I appreciate the thoughts on just their introduction and talking about the context of the business. And so he tweeted on me on Sunday at 3 o'clock. Here I am tweeting back and forth, like maybe exchange like 3 or 4 tweets back and forth with the CEO of this business, who I'd love to, of course, have an opportunity to do work with. But just a great way to he's grateful that I gave him a shout out. I mean, what a wonderful person who understands the value of social media and connecting with customers. And then after that, we talked about him playing piano, and I said, hey, do you ever use like a live platform? And so we're able to then just have a little bit of tweets back and forth regarding that. And so who knows where that relationship will go, but it was definitely a fun thing. The next thing that I did is I had a conversation with someone regarding about quitting, and I told him number one is you got to give 2 weeks notice. If you're not getting 2 weeks notice, it's very rude, and if your job's easily replaceable, you don't need to give 2 weeks, and they're probably going to let you go anyway. But you still want to at least be professional and give them that opportunity to have the 2 weeks. The other thing is that when we were talking, he wanted to send it via email and avoid the face-to-face, and I said number one is you're just starting out your career. You want to be able to quit face-to-face, right? Have that difficult conversation because you don't want to have it, and it's good for you because you've never had it before. And the other thing that I would say is that not only do you want to be able to do that face-to-face conversation, but then you also need to have a letter ready in order to resign. And so basically the letter is like, dear manager, thank you for the opportunity to work here. Based on my situation right now, I'm going to I'm going to resign starting as of this date. And if I can continue to be of any value, please let me know. I hope we can keep in contact and go from there, from that conversation. So I think that's where you end up going in order to resign, and it just got to be done face to face, and then either follow up with an email or a letter, and then you just want to stay connected with people because you never know where those relationships are going to end up panning out or not panning out for your future. Excuse me. And then the last conversation that I had was with the gentleman, and let's just call his name Jim. And Jim was trying to wanted to interview a CEO. And I said, well, you and many other people are trying to get the attention of a CEO. And so what you want to be able to make sure that you're doing is providing value, not just, because what he wants to do, let me take a step back, is he wants to be able to interview this CEO because he finds this CEO being able to really engage well with millennials and develop strong relationships with them and get them to perform well in a world that's saying millennials don't work very hard, or in a world that millennials aren't able to stay committed or very loyal. And he seems to be kind of changing that mantra. And so the interesting thing So what he wants to do is he wants to write a book, and he's going to interview a bunch of CEOs about that. And I said, so here's one of the things: is number one is if you come in saying, hey, I'm writing a book, I want to interview you. The problem is that you're a millennial, so basically your book literally requires me, because you've never led a millennial team, right? So, and you've never had them do it. So you need me more than I need you. Plus, I'm giving you my time. So I said, what you can do is say to a CEO or business owner, hey, I really admire what you do in working with millennials. Would love to interview you, get your take on it, how you've been able to change that. So you're using flattery, and then you're giving. So what I'd like to do is write this article up and then promote you and your company on Medium, on a blog. I can send you the article. You can post it up on any of your social media. So now what you're doing is you're taking that context and you're throwing it up online for them, for the benefit of the business, for the benefit of the CEO, and then, oh, by the way, would it be okay if I featured that article in a book that I'm writing? But again, I would let that be an aftermath, right? Go first in giving, creating this article, talking about how this business owner is doing a great job in working with this generation. And then after it's been completed, after they like it, after they get some good positive feedback, then put it into your book. Because again, you might write it and you get poor feedback and say, you know what, I'm not going to put that in my book. Or you might get even better CEOs that are talking about exactly what they're doing and having a much more impactful way. The other thing that I said is, remember, if I'm a CEO of an 800 people business, I'm not working with everybody. And so where you might want to go is to the directors. Because the directors and the VPs, they're the ones that are dealing then with these millennials. And so what culture is that person building? What are they driving? So you might be able to have a better opportunity talking with those division heads, those VPs at those businesses that aren't getting bombarded like the CEO is to the same extent. And that might be then the step next to the CEOs, where it can be talking more about keeping that company culture and attracting and retaining those best employees. I don't think it matters about what the generation is. Sorry, I was just knocking on the thing there. So that was my weekend. So I had some good fun in engaging with people, and for me it is fun. Like, I'm a social butterfly, so for me I enjoy engaging with people in these kinds of platforms and these contexts. So hopefully you guys can find value. If I can be of any value to you, answer any questions, talk to any, put up any videos, please let me know, and we'll talk to you later. Bye. There's Appleton.